Alright, Rick Wool came back again alongside Nevermore, doing my next Halloween video. Now, I really love this time of year because of the scares, the horrors, all the decor in the shops. Do not have to clean up the cobwebs that come in the corners. All good stuff. But I've got two major Halloween traditions. One, Addams Family. I either watch a load of episodes of the TV show or I watch the films. Sometimes I mix the two up. It works really nicely. It's a lot of fun. Nevermore might even watch them with me this year. Or I watch a whole raft of episodes of Scooby Doo. Okay, I know, it's not quite the same thing. But I love it. Scooby Doo is awesome. And as such, and as it's Halloween, I'm going to talk through some of my favourite Scooby Doo monsters and the episodes they're from. So this is our top 10. No. It's Halloween. It's our top 13 ghosts, monsters, ghouls, whatever they are, from Scooby Doo. Now, I know there are those who find him a bit silly, but I actually love the look of this character, and it's my list, so he scrapes in. On top of that, the episode features kidnapping, an interesting take on history, and one of the most beautiful cities in the world. So, to all the haters. The only villain from What's New Scooby Doo? Not anything against the series, it did some great episodes, but this is my list and I grew up in the 80s, so this was just too far past my era really. It does have a cool distinction though, of being a monster that gets away with it. And it does look really cool. Odd choice, I know, but let me explain. I was 3 or 4 years old when I first saw this episode, and it scared me so bad, to the point where I couldn't even watch it again until I came back to the show as an adult. No other Scooby-Doo monster has ever done that to me. So for that alone, he makes the list. Saying that though, once he has a head, the mystery's kind of over, so he can't land that high on the list. Into the top 10, and here comes the controversy. Scrappy Doo's debut monster. Now let me just say, I'm not a huge Scrappy Doo fan these days, but back then I was. And I still think his first series, with all the gang in it, had some of the best stories in the whole franchise, despite of him. And so there, I've said it. And of course, who doesn't love a superhero gone bad story like this? Same reason I love the Winged Avenger, but then that's a top 10 list for another day. Another villain picked because it looks so cool. Truth is, that's why most make this cut. Difference here is that the plotline could have fitted a Batman cartoon, or most superheroes for that matter. And it's not just scaring off the curious, but the villain's a full-on, costumed criminal. Sneaks around the city, robbing jewellery stores, shifting the blame onto harmless old women. First, I want to mention how cool the monster looked in the live-action movie. Just on that alone, he might have made this list. But the episode he's from is really fun too. Includes the classic line, "Come in, out of the cold, and into the colder." I remember this one from when I was a lad, for its teaching of how electromagnets work. And it's entertaining and informative, has a cool monster. Proper sci-fi stuff. This is the only representative of the new Scooby Doo movies from the early 70s. A very hit and miss series with celebrities, and even when it was good, the monsters often weren't. This is the one that matches both cool celebrities in Laurel and Hardy and a cool monster with the classic Scooby Doo formula. I mean, I can watch this one again and again and again, and frankly, I do. Now, everyone says that every Scooby-Doo story is the same. Some rich bloke using a ghost story to scare people off so he can protect his loot. Well, this one's slightly more nuanced than that. He is, in fact, trying to drive a friend of the gang insane by convincing her she's a vampire, getting her locked up and stealing her hotel. Now, that's pretty dark for a show like this, but still pretty awesome. It's got everything. A room full of coffins, vampire in the family history, hypnosis, Scooby Doo. What more do you want? Another Scrappy Doo story, and this one in the top 5. I can see diehards shaking their heads through their screens at me right now. But hear me out. Firstly, how cool does the Snake Demon look? And he sounds even cooler. Then we have Haiti, which is such a great location, which is another major factor in a good Scooby-Doo story. Now, I grant you, Scrappy is at his most annoying in this, but the smuggling plot and the cool monster more than make up for that. It's probably my most watched episode as well, thanks to an awesome video that had this as the first story on it. So, here we go into Canada and smuggling back into the US. I really love the look of this monster, more than pretty much any other. And judging by how many toys have been released of the character, I'm not the only one. And this episode's really fun too, especially with that curious incident with the cat and the explosives, and it's well worth a look. But then, of course, I would say that, wouldn't I? This'll get me lynched too, I'm sure. But not only is there so much Scrappy Doo in this list, this is the only monster from the original series, Scooby Doo, Where Are You? I mean, it's not that I don't love the series. I do. I just love the Scooby Doo show more. It's what I grew up on. Saying that though, I do love the Ghost Clowns episode. There's a reason he's become a meme across the internet, hypnotising all different characters and actresses. I mean, watch the pretty coin of gold. You will do as you are told. Here is the silver medal, and shock horror, it's another representative of the Scooby-Doo show. I wore out the tape playing this one over and over. It had such fun with food, a super cruel villain who acted sweet and innocent, Scooby-Doo. In fact, thinking about it, I can't think of a bad Scooby-Doo episode. Just him being in it is a plus. The Gator Girl looked so cool, had a great reveal, and some spooky powers. Hard to top that, but someone did, and that someone was... Yeah, it's another Scrappy Doo story, and frankly, I don't care. Yes, it was a product of the time, haunting a roller disco, but I don't care. Okay, he was more garish looking than cool, but I don't care. He is my favourite Scooby-Doo monster ever. He goes around draining power from places like discos and film premieres, and leaves them with a quip worthy of any supervillain. My favourite being, "Grand reopening, is it? Well, I welcome you now to the grand re-closing." Now, Scrappy may annoy in this one, but only a little, and the episode just shines despite him. That is, of course, unless the Phantom can drain it of its power. He's planning to do that, but those meddling kids will be there to stop him. Those meddling kids and that dog. Those meddling kids and that dog.